Hey, so today I am tasking myself with some KPI related things, and I thought I would a little, share with you while I do it. Um, Today I will share my screen. Cool, there we are. So every week, what I do, one of the things that I do every Monday, it's in my calendar for 9 a.m. on Monday, before we have our team meeting. It is to go through this spreadsheet and collect all of the data for sales and unit volume sales, so I can keep track of the trends and make sure something's not broken, that sort of thing. Um, and this has been great. It's nice to see the charts. It's nice to track the data and share it with the team, and catch scenarios where something might have stopped working or you run out of inventory, that sort of thing. So this has been pretty valuable. It's great as you go to look back on this thing and be able to say, hey, we just had our best week of the year. What contributed to that? And then we can add little notes on the side, that sort of thing. The trouble with tracking this kind of data is that I'll add a new sheet here. Um, you're not directly in control of those numbers. Sometimes, like what sells today versus yesterday, you have indirect control over it through marketing and traffic and things. But on like today, I don't have the ability to say, let's sell not 500 units, but let's sell 10,000 units today. I mean, I wish I could just go, boom, there we go, more sold. But the actual output of my work and the team um, is like video production. How much stuff do we actually make? How much do we publish? How much emails do we write and send and that sort of thing. So those are the actions that we directly have agency to create and publish and send out and communicate with our customers and audience. Um, so monitoring the quantity and quality of that output is better, of a metric that we can make sure that, yeah, we're doing the work, we're putting in the effort, and the effort is producing the output that we directly control. So I thought I would add to my weekly KPIs that tracking as something that I would go forward on a go forward basis, and make sure that myself and the team are aware of just how much content is being published organically, and how many ads are created, that sort of stuff. So we have some metrics so we can see, yes, we are producing more stuff, we are putting it out, and the actual performance and the quality is a bit more qualitative. It takes time to get the feedback, but the measuring of the actions there is what I'm after today. So what I'm going to do, I like the layout of this one. So we've got date range, just as a reminder. So I'll use that, and then let's pull this. I do this every Monday, so I'll put in Monday. Last 7 days is just a reminder for anybody who looks at it what they're looking at. It is And this is mostly when you land on a reporting page, you put in the date, or this is the date, um, and then you pick the last 7 days is usually not including today. So it's in this case like January 6th to the 12th, or yeah, inclusive. Um, and then we're looking at the output. So this would be email sent. I want to track YouTube long form, YouTube shorts, TikTok, Instagram posts. I usually group reels in with posts. Facebook posts, Twitter. I'll say posts plus replies because I want to track just the quantity of things that are going out there. SMS. And what's the other things that we're doing? Web push notifications is another one that we do. But I feel like I'm forgetting something. Maybe it'll come back to me. And then I think it'd be good to have a total output. Okay, so going forward, I'm just going to track these. Let's just put in some numbers here. I'll get the real numbers later. And then this is going to be a sum of everything in the row. And let's make this look a little prettier. Date range. And then I'm just going to take that, copy it down a few rows so that we have something placeholdery there. And then let's do a chart. Insert a chart. What is that? Date. Let's pull this one out and make this into a stacked bar chart. Okay. So that'll be our chart. So now we can see each period. The X will be the date. Okay. So that could be the layout. This will give us a good way to quickly look and see where we are producing, where we're not producing. And like I said, I usually do this on a weekly basis. So that would be the 13th. So then down to the 20th. And I can pull that out. And okay, that would be it. So that's now part of my weekly SOP is going to be gathering some of these numbers when I get the financials for the week. And then I'll report this to the team as well. And hopefully we'll see where we are. My goal here is basically 3 to 4 emails per week. YouTube, at least one, preferably three YouTubes. I'm not too sure long versus short yet, but we'll see where we land. TikTok, probably at least three a week. Instagram Reels posts at same TikToks, Reels reposted. So, you know, I would love to do one a day as a floor. It's probably not realistic for me right now. And maybe in the future I'll do a video about how to scale some of this. Twitter posts, I'm trying to get to 50 a week. Those are pretty easy to do, so it just requires a bit of time to find things to reply to. SMSs, one a week, web push, one a week at minimum, and then I'm hoping that our total output on a weekly basis is going to be, I mean, including the Twitter posts, which is a big chunk of volume. It would be great to get like 100 things a week across all of this stuff, and then scale it up, you know, to ultimately like 100 a day would be amazing. So that's the kind of scale that we need to get to. So, um, but yeah, having like a spreadsheet like this is fantastic way to track your data over time in a way that you want to see it, that focuses on what you want to do. And spreadsheets are flexible enough to tweak on a weekly basis. If you want to add a column, you can just do it. And so it's great for that. It's the most flexible platform for it. Yeah. In the past, we have used like what's the Google one? I can't remember. They have a data uh, reporting platform, and it's great. It's great for doing dashboards and stuff, but the overhead of setting it up compared to something like this is a big leap for people. So unless you have like somebody who wants to spend their time maintaining it and taking feature requests to modify it, it's a bit of a pain. So this is obviously manually collected data. At some point, it would be nice to automate the data inserting into this, but automation is sort of the last step of this process. Would be, you know, as Elon would say, you remove requirements, delete steps first, simplify, and streamline, and then at the very end is when you get to the automation step, because that could be a big lift in the amount of work required to automate things. And if you run a business, like I think this is honestly a fantastic thing to do. Track the metrics weekly, because every week is the same length of time, and week over week, especially when you're starting or when you're small, a weekly stat is consistently 7 days. And so it's good. It allows you to quickly track and find cases where things are going sideways before you're 30 days later on a monthly reporting or a quarterly. And and reporting on KPIs in this case that are outputs that you directly control, as opposed to derivatives of this work in terms of like likes and views and clicks, are things that are based on a whole bunch of other things that you don't control in terms of the algorithm and how the video quality comes across, what your call to actions were that week, or um, your inventory levels. All of those things interplay and can affect the performance of things. So, um, at the very top level, measuring your output is is great. And obviously, like, these numbers can be manipulated. You can do a ton of Twitter posts because they're short and concise, but doing a long form YouTube is considerably more work. So they're not directly comparable that way. But if you did decide to do YouTubes and they're like this, where uh, yeah, I don't do a whole lot of editing on this, and they're quick to turn around. I can just shoot, press record, do a 15-minute cut, and maybe my edits are just like trim the beginning and the end so I don't look like I'm fiddling with the computer and stuff. Um, and then publish it. And like I don't, I'm not doing too much edits on these things. So, um, versus a highly produced thing that has a lot of thought and actors and props and whatever, um, completely different thing, right? And you don't expect to produce a ton of those relative to this kind of level of production. So, um, if you shifted from sort of a high production to a low production, your numbers would adapt. And so if you're trying to juice these numbers over a long period of time, what gets measured gets managed, kind of thing, and focusing on these metrics for too long might create an incentive just to like publish crap. So I really like the something that Toby at Shopify does is every quarter, Shopify readjusts which KPI they're focusing on, and that way you shift up the game theory of it. You can't over optimize for quantity of emails sent like you would if you were trying to juice this number. You might just look at quantity. But if in 3 months time we change these stats, um, not that we're not tracking them, but like if we change the meeting so that we are talking about the like counts or the comments and engagements counts or some other KPI, that if the team starts to optimize and talk about those stats for a period instead of this one, then you don't over optimize on one thing. You start to like make sure you don't forget about the other things that matter in terms of the quality of the work. So I really appreciate Toby's insight on that one. But yeah, just like building up these assets, tracking these things over time is is pretty good. It's nice to have the data. It's nice to be able to see where you're falling down on the job a little bit, and hold yourself a little bit accountable to why the number is up or down every week. Sorry, rambling there a little bit. So that's it for this video. Leave a comment if you want this spreadsheet. It's just I mean, you saw how quick I put this together. It's easy to do. But if you want it, I can make it available. Leave a comment down below on anything. Ask me a question. Leave a comment. It's great to do this, and I hope you're getting some value out of it. Thanks.